Thanks for joining me, everyone. This is Mr. Bologna. Today we're going to learn about famous writer and artist Dr. Seuss. I want to first start off this lesson by sharing this video clip that gives us a great look at Dr. Seuss's life. Enjoy.
Do you know who wrote books like The Cat in the Hat, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, and The Grinch Who Stole Christmas? If you said Dr. Seuss, you're absolutely right. Today, we're going to learn all about this amazing writer, including what his real name is. Dr. Seuss was born in Springfield, Massachusetts, on March 2nd, 1904. His real name was Theodore Seuss Geisel. When he was a child, his mother used to make up rhymes based on pie flavors to entertain him. Later in his life, Dr. Seuss would say that his love of rhyme came from his mom. And guess what? Her maiden name was Seuss, which was also his middle name. Did you know that Dr. Seuss wasn't really a doctor? In fact, the only reason he went by the name doctor was because his dad wanted him to become one. But lucky for us, he became a writer instead. When Theodore was 18, he attended Dartmouth College in New Hampshire. While there, he became the editor of a funny magazine called The Jack-O-Lantern. After getting into some trouble with his friends, he wasn't allowed to write for the magazine anymore. So, he decided to become tricky and used fake names so he could keep writing. Can you guess what one of his fake names was? Did you say Seuss? You're right. Before he signed his books as Dr. Seuss, he signed a few of his books using the name Theo Lessig, which is his last name, Geisel, spelled backwards. The first time Theodore Geisel used the name Dr. Seuss was for a cartoon he created for the Saturday Evening Post. Theodore graduated from Dartmouth and then went to Oxford College in England with plans to become a professor. While there, he met his future wife, Helen Palmer. They got married in 1927, dropped out of Oxford, and moved back to the United States. Before becoming famous, Theodore wrote advertisements for different companies. He was also an illustrator and a poet. He created political cartoons and made some animated films as well. Even though Theodore was a very creative person, the first book he published was turned down 27 times. But he never gave up. Eventually, his hard work paid off, and his book was published in 1937. Dr. Seuss also helped the U.S. government by creating posters and films which were used during World War II. Later, after the war ended, Dr. Seuss began writing 8 hours a day in La Jolla, California, where he lived with his wife. He was now a full-time writer of children's books. Here are 3 things you might not have known about some of Dr. Seuss's books. The Cat in the Hat only uses 236 simple vocabulary words. It was one of his most successful books and was also made into a movie. Seuss's editor bet him that he couldn't write a book using even less words than that. So, Dr. Seuss wrote Green Eggs and Ham. It only contains 50 different words. How the Grinch Stole Christmas was published in 1957. Dr. Seuss said the Grinch character was based on himself. He thought that he needed to get some Christmas spirit back, so he wrote the book to help him do that. In 1966, that book was made into an animated movie. It has since been remade a few different times. 24 years after Dr. Seuss died, a manuscript and sketches were found by the author's widow in their home. The book was called What Pet Should I Get? and was published in 2015. In all, Dr. Seuss wrote and illustrated over 60 children's books. They have been translated into many different languages. Though he loved to write children's books, Dr. Seuss never had any children of his own. But he spent his life helping children all over the world gain a love of reading. Dr. Seuss died on September 24, 1991. A special event is held in his honor every year. It is on March 2nd, which is also his birthday. The event is known as Read Across America Day. It is a day for people to focus on the importance of reading. Many of Dr. Seuss's books are used in schools throughout the world. The stories are fun and silly, creative and imaginary. Written in rhyme, they are filled with interesting characters and colorful cartoons. Before we end, here's a poem we wrote to honor Dr. Seuss. A famous man you surely know. Have you read his book? Oh, the places you'll go. He was called a doctor, but didn't heal anyone, except through laughter and a whole lot of fun. A famous writer with over 60 books. You've probably read one in a cozy nook. Have you tried his breakfast of green eggs and ham? Or met his good friend, Sam I Am? Have you heard of some troublemakers, Thing 1 and Thing 2? Or of a lovable elephant, Horton Hears a Who? At Christmas, some traditions include his Grinch, a green fellow who stole all of Christmas, every inch. Though he never had any children of his own, he spent his life making very many feel at home. Hope you had fun learning with us.
Wasn't that a cool video on Dr. Seuss? So many interesting facts about the famous artist and writer. Now, we're going to listen and watch a video on one of his classic stories, The Cat in the Hat. As you watch this, I want you to think about rhyming words that I want you to jot down in your sketchbook. I'll explain after the story why you're going to do that. All right, enjoy.
It's time to read The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss. The sun did not shine. It was too wet to play, so we sat in the house all that cold, cold, wet day. I sat there with Sally. We sat there, we two, and I said, how I wish we had something to do. Too wet to go out and too cold to play ball. So we sat in the house. We did nothing at all. So all we could do was to sit. Sit, sit, sit. And we did not like it, not one little bit. And then something went bump. How that bump made us jump. We looked, then we saw him step in on the mat. We looked and we saw him, the cat in the hat. And he said to us,
"Why do you sit there like that? I know it is wet and the sun is not sunny, but we can have lots of good fun that is funny. I know some good games we could play," said the cat. "I know some new tricks," said the cat in the hat. "A lot of good tricks. I will show them to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do."
Then Sally and I did not know what to say. Our mother was out of the house for the day. But our fish said,
No, no, make that cat go away. Tell that cat in the hat you do not want to play. He should not be here. He should not be about. He should not be here when your mother is out.
Now, have no fear. Have no fear," said the cat. "My tricks are not bad," said the cat in the hat. "Why, we can have lots of good fun, if you wish, with a game that I call Up, Up, Up with a fish."
Put me down,
said the fish.
This is no fun at all. Put me down,
said the fish.
I do not wish to fall.
"Have no fear," said the cat. "I will not let you fall. I will hold you up high as I stand on a ball with a book on one hand and a cup on my hat. But that is not all I can do," said the cat. Look at me now," said the cat. "With a cup and a cake on the top of my hat. I can hold up 2 books. I can hold up the fish and a little toy ship and some milk on a dish. And look, I can hop up and down on the ball. But that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. Look at me, look at me, look at me now. It is fun to have fun, but you have to know how. I can hold up the cup and the milk and the cake. I can hold up these books and the fish on a rake. I can hold the toy ship and a little toy man. And look, with my tail, I can hold a red fan. I can fan with the fan as I hop on the ball, but that is not all. Oh no, that is not all.
That is what the cat said. Then he fell on his head. He came down with a bump from up there on the ball. And Sally and I, we saw all the things fall. And our fish came down too. He fell into a pot. He said,
Do I like this? Oh no, I do not. This is not a good game.
said our fish as he lit.
No, I do not like it. Not one little bit. Now look what you did,
said the fish to the cat.
No, look at this house. Look at this. Look at that. You sank our toy ship, sank it deep in the cake. You shook up our house, and you bent our new rake. You should not be here when our mother is not. You get out of this house,
said the fish in the pot.
But I like to be here. Oh, I like it a lot,
said the cat in the hat to the fish in the pot.
I will not go away. I do not wish to go. And so,
said the cat in the hat,
so, I will show you another good game that I know.
And then he ran out. And then, fast as a fox, the cat in the hat came back in with a box. A big redwood box. It was shut with a hook.
Now look at this trick,
said the cat.
Take a look.
Then he got up on top with the tip of his hat.
I call this game Fun in a Box,
said the cat.
In this box are two things I will show to you now. You will like these two things,
said the cat with a bow.
I will pick up the hook. You will see something new. Two things, and I call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. These things will not bite you. They want to have fun.
Then out of the box came Thing 2 and Thing 1. They ran to us fast. They said,
How do you do? Would you like to shake hands with Thing 1 and Thing 2?
And Sally and I did not know what to do. So we had to shake hands with Thing 1 and Thing 2. We shook their two hands. But our fish said,
No. Those things should not be in this house. Make them go. They should not be here when your mother is not. Put them out. Put them out,
said the fish in the pot.
Have no fear, little fish,
said the cat in the hat.
These things are good things.
And he gave them a pat.
They are tame, oh so tame. They have come here to play. They will give you some fun on this wet day. Now, here is a game that they like,
said the cat.
They like to fly kites,
said the cat in the hat.
No, not in the house,
said the fish in the pot.
They should not fly kites in a house. They should not. Oh, the things they will bump. Oh, the things they will hit. Oh, I do not like it. Not one little bit.
Then Sally and I saw them run down the hall. We saw those two things bump their kites on the wall. Bump, dump, dump, bump. Down the wall, in the hall, Thing 2 and Thing 1. They ran up, they ran down. On the string of one kite, we saw Mother's new gown. Her gown with the dots that are pink, white, and red. Then we saw one kite bump on the head of her bed. Then those things ran about with big bumps, jumps, and kicks, and with hops and big thumps, and all kinds of bad tricks. And I said, I do not like the way that they play. If Mother could see this, oh, what would she say? Then our fish said,
Look!
And our fish shook with fear.
Your mother is on her way home! Do you hear? Oh, what will she do to us? What will she say? Oh, she will not like it to find us this way. So, do something, fast,
said the fish.
Do you hear? I saw her! Your mother is near! So as fast as you can, think of something to do. You will have to get rid of Thing 1 and Thing 2.
So as fast as I could, I went after my net. And I said, with my net, I can get them, I bet. I bet with my net, I can get those things yet. Then I let down my net. It came down with a plop. And I had them, at last. Those two things had to stop.
Then I said to the cat, "Now you do as I say. You pack up those things and you take them away."
Oh dear, said the cat. You did not like our game? Oh dear, what a shame. What a shame, what a shame.
Then he shut up the things in the box with a hook, and the cat went away with a sad kind of look. "That is good," said the fish. "He has gone away. Yes, but your mother will come. She will find this big mess, and this mess is so big and so deep and so tall. Oh, we cannot pick it up. There is no way at all."
And then, who was back in the house? Why, the cat,
Have no fear of this mess,
said the cat in the hat.
I always pick up all my playthings, and so I will show you another good trick that I know.
Then we saw him pick up all the things that were down. He picked up the cake and the rake and the gown and the milk and the strings and the books and the dish and the fan and the cup and the ship and the fish. And he put them away. Then he said,
That is that.
and then he was gone with a tip of his hat. Then our mother came in, and she said to us too, "Did you have any fun? Tell me, what did you do?" And Sally and I did not know what to say. Should we tell her the things that went on there that day? Should we tell her about it? Now, what should we do? Well, what would you do if your mother asked you?
As we watch this story, I hope that you were jotting down rhyming words. If not, use this time to start. Doesn't have to be the rhyming words in the story The Cat in the Hat. Just sound it out. So for instance, I definitely want to think of a word that rhymes with art. I'm thinking, how about the name Bart? I'm thinking of a word like brush. Another word that can rhyme with brush is rush. Now that you made a list of rhyming words, you don't have to use them all, but now start thinking of a sentence that you could illustrate just like Dr. Seuss did with all of his books. I'm going to use my rhyming words, art and Bart. So here's my sentence. There once was an ostrich named Bart. He got real smart from creating art. I like that sentence. So, once you come up with a sentence, next week for part 2, you are going to illustrate that sentence. So take your time thinking of at least one good sentence, and then we'll go from there. Share your rhyming words and if you got to the sentences on Seesaw, and I will see you next week. Bye.